What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today we're going to talk about Washington's loss 33-22. Crazy thing about this, I had the score 33-21 in Washington's favor. They fall 33-22 to the New Orleans Saints. We're going to get into the keys of the game because this was a game that was lost not only through, this game was lost through coaching. Let me just put that out there, but let's go through the keys. Key number one, this was the first key that I put up there: pressure and contain JAMEIS Winston. He basically did what he wanted to do. I mean, like, there was a point early in the game, they looked like they were planning on stopping JAMEIS Winston. And it looked like they were on pace to do that. Like, it looked like they were ready to say, JAMEIS is not going to beat us. Neither is anybody else. Next thing you know, boom, JAMEIS Winston comes out there and looks like he's basically set to make the Pro Bowl this year. So, again, key number one, not met. Key number two, stay home when Taysom Hill is in. This key was met due to injury. So, it's a key that was met. I'm not going to sit up here and say it, but I'm going to tell y'all that this is a non-factor key now because of the fact that after he got injured, what he was to them didn't even matter, because guess what? They ended up letting New Orleans do whatever they wanted to do at some point. So again, key was met, but I mean, that's one of those keys that is a throwaway key. Key number three, keep eyes on Kamara, Johnson, and Harris. First play of the game, first touchdown of the game. Harris comes open. Landon Collins is again fourth game in a row. Landon Collins is trailing a wide receiver for a touchdown. Why is he on the field in freaking coverage? I just don't understand. I just don't get why it's so hard to bench Landon Collins. He's the link that is destroying this secondary. We see that. And I'm going to get on the Autobot Wheeljack as well, and also McCain. But again, Alvin Kamara, he didn't even need to do much, because guess what? He had a rushing touchdown, and he comes back towards the end of the game and gets a receiving touchdown. So again, you're talking about, what was even the point? What was even the point? Number four, use quick passing game and screens. For some strange reason, and this falls on Scott Turner, for some strange reason, Scott Turner felt the need to run the ball on a team that wasn't giving up that much running yardage anyway. Why would you not utilize the quick passing game and the screen game to get Taylor comfortable? Because guess what? When Taylor made his mistakes, it was because it was after two failed running plays. Then all of a sudden they had no choice but to throw, and he ends up throwing picks. This is why you sit up here and use the quick passing game to go against a team like this. You don't run the ball in hopes of doing anything. They basically let us eat the clock up running the ball. They basically let us do that. And even with that, we still didn't gain a ton of yardage on them. Get the ball behind their linebackers. Again, this goes from my last key, my fourth key, into my fifth key. All you had to do was utilize the quick passing game, utilize the screen game. That would have made a difference. And they didn't. You forced Taylor into a situation where all of a sudden you run on first down. Let me tell y'all how a lot of this game was going. They run on first down, they gain about 4 yards. They run on second down, they lose about 2 yards, and then all of a sudden it's now what? 3rd and 8. And then it got even worse because as time started to go on, they would run on first down, lose 4, then try to throw a deep play on second down. Taylor would then have to do a scramble and get caught in some type of weird situation. Come on, I mean, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Key number 6, Taylor uses his legs. I think I saw him use his legs like twice. Again, this seems like a game where they were telling Taylor Heinicke, don't do too much. We're going to run the ball this game. This is the best way to do it. Even with the Giants, at some point the Giants figured out that, hey, this running game doesn't work. Let's go and let's start throwing. Let's do the short passing game to get the ball down the field. The fact that they didn't do that is just mind-boggling. Again, Taylor, there were times where Taylor ran, but it was like for him, running was the very last option. Like after he done went through all his reads and then went through all his reads again, running was the very last option. Insane, man. Then number 7, perfect special teams play. Dustin Hopkins made all his kicks. Dustin Hopkins made all his kicks. Now, I can't get too mad about them being downed at the 1 pretty often by the Saints punter because, you know, the rule is that if the ball is kicked within, if you back up to the 10-yard line and the ball gets within the 10-yard line, you don't field it. So there was a point where DeAndre Carter was just letting the ball go past him. In the process, the Saints kicker was actually doing a good job with pinning the ball within the 1 or getting his coverage teams down there to get the ball around the 1 or the 2-yard line. So, I mean, again, they did play perfect special teams. So, out of all this, you're talking about 2 keys. 2 keys was accomplished and 1 was accomplished through injury. Let me get into it. When are we going to bench Landon Collins? Landon Collins, again, you talking about this is the 4th game in a row. Landon Collins has been caught in a trailing position and a wide receiver that people were supposed to be watching catches a touchdown on him. And not only that, in the beginning of the game, I just don't get it. The guy was not a part of the defense when they became the number 2 overall defense. And being as though you got the guys still on the team that was a part of that, then move everybody around. It's not working. It's not working. And if it's not working, the way they're playing defense is the epitome of the definition of insane. To keep doing something over and over again, expecting a different outcome. I don't get, for the life of me, why it's so hard for them to see what we're all seeing. We're all seeing Landon Collins cannot cover, and teams are taking advantage of that. We're all seeing that. We're all seeing that when Bobby McCain is in, some reason there's a lapse in the pass coverage. We're seeing that. We're all seeing that Will Jack is struggling in this defense. We're seeing that. We're all seeing that. What do we expect out of this? I mean, we're starting to see that for some reason Cole Holcomb is now in coverage more often when he shouldn't be. And then let me get on Scott Turner, because again, this is failure on the play callers and on the head coach. Why in the hell would you be running the ball as often as you did in this game when that was not a key to victory? Running the ball against a defense that is stout against the run, all they did was let you run the play clock down. That's all they did. Then let me not get on, I mean, you're talking about everybody's going to focus on Taylor Heineke and the 2 interceptions, but nobody's going to focus on when he threw the 2 interceptions and why he throws the 2 interceptions. Remember, the one that was down there by the goal line. I mean, the one that was out of the end, where he had to throw it out of the end zone. Why did that happen? Guess what they did on the first 2 plays of that thing? They ran the stupid ball. Got stuck, and then all of a sudden, Taylor had to force the pass. Interception. Then it happened again in the game, down there by the 1. Same thing happened. They ran the ball 2 straight times, then they had to force the ball down the field. These are things that when this team fails, they fail exponentially due to the fact that the coaching staff is not calling the game the way it should be called. Again, I don't understand how everybody, all of us, was talking about the fact that you can't run on this team. The Saints basically let us run the clocks out. That's basically what they did. And even with that, guess what? Neither one of our running backs still had over 100 yards rushing. Not one. So if you know that this team is stout like that, just like I said, that this front 7 and this front 7 collapses the pocket very quickly. And they did that. Again, this is a failure on the coaches. And like I said, it's so crazy because it's not because we're facing better quarterbacks. This defense just looks like butt. It really does. It looks awful. I mean, I can understand at how Chase Young and all of them struggle, because at the end of the day, if every time they turn around, a big play is given up, what's making them fight anymore? What's making them try their best to rush the passer when at the end of the day, a big play is going to be given up? Hell, JAMEIS Winston looked so comfortable back in that pocket. He looked so comfortable back in that pocket. That pocket didn't collapse on them, and they were missing 2 key offensive linemen. Here we are again, another game in which you get. I think the Giants game is the only game where they saw. I think they saw the entire starting offensive line. Everybody else has had injured linemen. Everybody else has had injured linemen. And yet and still, we're not able to get enough pressure on the offense or on the opposing team's quarterback. Failure is not always a player's fault. Sometimes failure is the poor way of coaching the game. Like I said again, why in the hell would you run so often when that was not the way to beat this team? Every team that has beat them, show you how to beat them. It was quick passing game and screens and finding a way to get behind their linebackers and in front of their safeties. That was how the Giants beat them. That was how Carolina beat them. Doesn't make any sense, y'all. Doesn't. It was also the way. What's the name? She's. Yeah. So yeah, it was the way that the Giants beat them, and it was the way that Carolina beat them. So the fact that Scott Turner did not understand that, and for some reason felt the need to run the ball, which was stupid. The running the ball, that is the offense you run against the Chiefs. What you ran today is what you run against the Chiefs. Because your point is to keep the Chiefs offense off of the field. Instead, you kept the Saints' strength on the field almost the whole game. You don't keep a team's strength on the field. This is a hard loss, y'all. It's a hard loss. At this point now, we got the Chiefs coming up. We got, I think it's the Chiefs. Then we got Green Bay. Then we got Denver. I mean, we might be able to beat Green Bay because they got Joe Burry as their defensive coordinator. And he's made that defense look like trash. But I don't know, man. I just don't know. This is a tough one, y'all, because this is one where we could have walked away with a victory. And the fact that our coaches did not put the right game plan in place, it's really disturbing, because now it's starting to make me feel like now we understand why Jack Del Rio was out of the league for so long. Now we understand why Scott Turner, everybody wasn't really assured of Scott Turner being such a good play caller. Because again, this loss is going to fall on Taylor Heinicke somehow because he threw the 2 picks, but nobody's going to pay attention to the fact that he was forced to throw those picks because of the poor play calling in the first couple of series before he even threw the ball for it to be intercepted. Tough one. I don't know what we're going to do from here on out, y'all. I just don't. I mean, this is insane. This is sad. It doesn't make any sense. It seems like, and even with Ron, the fact that Ron isn't calling people out on this stuff. Like, I mean, and I'm tired of hearing Ron say the same shit. And I'm pretty sure that when I go see his press conference after I take this show, I'm pretty sure that 9 times out of 10, he's going to be repeating himself again, talking about players weren't in the right position and saying that Taylor made mistakes and all that, not putting the blame on his damn coaches. Forget it, y'all. This is it. It's been your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.